I'm going to talk to you about the real reasons why you need to be drinking coffee every single day. Number one, it supports your heart health. There was a large umbrella review that was published in the BMJ back in 2017, and it demonstrated that drinking anywhere between 1 to 3 cups per day of coffee people had a lower risk of mortality from cardiovascular disease by 19% and 30% lower risk of mortality from stroke as well. So coffee is a really heart healthy drink. It's the reason why I personally drink coffee every single day. I've had my own heart health issues back when I was a junior doctor. And I think anyone who is looking to lower their cholesterol could benefit from having good quality coffee in their diet every single day. And if you don't like the caffeination, you can have it decaffeinated as well, particularly if you do have blood pressure issues that you're worried about with regards to caffeination. So coffee and heart health go hand in hand. Another reason, or the second reason, is metabolic health. Metabolic health is one of the key worries that we have as medical professionals in the NHS and across healthcare systems around the world. It is rising. When I say poor metabolic health, I'm really talking about things like the risk of type 2 diabetes, the risks to our health of having too much sugar in our bloodstream, not enough muscle mass, and not shuttling energy in and around our body in an efficient manner. Coffee appears to lower the risk of metabolic syndrome, which is this trifecta of insulin resistance, blood pressure, and obesity, particularly around the weight, the central area around your abdomen as well. There's also evidence that it lowers the risk of type 2 diabetes specifically. And for a refresher on everything to do with blood sugar and type 2 diabetes, do check out the other videos that we've done on the Doctor's Kitchen channel for ways in which you can mitigate against blood sugar rises, the foods that I recommend, as well as type 2 diabetes deep dives as well. So there is evidence for metabolic health benefits as well. The third reason why you should be drinking coffee every single day is that there is evidence that it reduces the risk of cancer. Now, I'm going to go into mechanisms a little bit later as to why coffee might have these effects. But looking at the same paper that we did, that was published in the BMJ in 2017, high consumers of coffee, so anywhere between 2 to 3 cups per day, had a 18% lower risk of cancer than low consumers of coffee or no consumers of coffee. So there does appear to be some benefit of coffee in reducing the risk of cancers as well. The fourth reason is brain health. Now, you've probably heard of this one if you've been sort of listening to a number of other large podcasts. Anywhere between 1 to 4 cups per day, there seems to be a 20 to 30% lower risk of Alzheimer's disease. Now, Alzheimer's is one of these conditions, a neurodegenerative condition lumped into the sort of umbrella condition of dementia that appears to be on the rise. There are some links with metabolic ill health. There are some links with exposures to toxins. There does appear to be some link with lifestyle-related illnesses as well, so things like poor metabolic health. But just having coffee in your diet, there may be some benefits there. That was seen in one of the more recent papers that we've looked at in 2023. And there also seems to be a lower risk of another neurodegenerative condition, that being Parkinson's as well. So coffee and brain health, coffee and heart health, they all go hand in hand. And that's another reason why I drink coffee every single day. Mental health as well. So 24% lower risk of depression when comparing the highest consumers of coffee, so 4 to 5 cups per day, to the lowest. Now, 4 to 5 cups a day is quite a lot of coffee, in my opinion. There is also sort of a bit of debate as to what a cup of coffee actually means, what that means in different studies. Are they using the exact same number of milligrams of polyphenols that you find in coffee? Are they looking at the same types of coffee? There's a lot of dirty data out there, but looking at the large risk reduction in depression, that is another real reason for me to suggest coffee as a heart healthy, brain healthy, mood healthy drink to have every single day. Just a quick one. If you're enjoying this kind of content, you will love our free newsletter called Seasonal Sundays. It goes into depth on a seasonal ingredient every Sunday, and we talk about the nutritional medicine benefits, the research, and the culinary uses of an ingredient every Sunday with recipes included. You can get access to the free newsletter in the link just down below. So what on earth is going on? Why is an ingredient that is so commonly and widely consumed having these miraculous effects? Well, if you look at what coffee is, so I've got some coffee beans here that smell absolutely delicious. These are from a brand called Excel Coffee that I have a real love for because they roast and they produce beans that are higher in these polyphenols. There are over 1,000 compounds in coffee, including chlorogenic acid, but there's diterpenes, there's phytoesterols, there's alkaloids, there's a whole bunch of other compounds in this that may be providing anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. There's also a prebiotic effect. So if you remember from previous podcast and YouTube channel episodes, prebiotics are unique subtypes of fiber that are specialized in improving and helping bloom your microbiota. So this is the population of microbes that live in and around your body, but largely concentrated in the large intestine. And a prebiotic is something that helps that population flourish. And coffee appears to increase your gut microbiome diversity, so the diversity of those different types of microbes, which is uniquely related to improved health outcomes that we might be seeing in these large studies. It increases your antioxidant defenses and reduces inflammation, as I mentioned as well. Decaf. So if you do not do well with caffeination, i.e. caffeinated products, you're particularly sensitive to them, you can still get these benefits of mental health benefits, the cancer protective benefits, the heart and brain healthy benefits with decaffeinated coffee. And the reason why is because if you're using a good decaffeination process, you're preserving a lot of those polyphenols that we discussed, those diterpenes, the alkaloids, the chlorogenic acid, the COOs. There's all these funky names that you have for these different polyphenols that you find in coffee. When you decaffeinate, you're just taking the caffeine out. You're not taking those polyphenols. What I would hasten to add is you want to go for mountain water decaffeination processes, also known as Swiss water mountain decaffeination. It's a less harsh extraction method than mass-produced decaffeinated products that use quite harsh chemicals to remove the caffeine, and that can disrupt the polyphenol content that you find as well. So decaf, you still have comparable benefits for mortality, metabolic health, cancer, and those brain benefits as well. I would suggest, in terms of the dose of how much coffee you should drink, if you're not a coffee drinker, don't go straight to 4 cups a day. I would really not recommend doing that. Dose it up. Just go up very, very slowly. The largest benefits that we've seen, the sweet spot appears to be 2 to 3 cups per day. I prefer to have my coffee black in an espresso format, and I'll probably have a double espresso twice a day. So that for me is around 2 to 4 cups per day, because that's quite a strong sort of concentrated level. If you're doing a filter coffee method, so you're putting in 20 to 25 grams of freshly ground beans, because that's, again, how you're going to preserve a lot of those polyphenols. You're not going to have like stale coffee, and it's going to have a much more sort of pleasant and powerful aroma of the coffee itself. Blend that, grind it fresh, put it into a French press, and then again, like 2 to 3 to 4 cups of that is going to be, you're going to be golden. So you'll probably need to do that a couple of times. So maybe 25 grams of ground coffee twice a day. What I would say is if you are sensitive to the caffeine, make sure that you're using a decaf method. But if there's one thing that I would invest in if you're new to coffee, it wouldn't be a fancy machine. It wouldn't even be like a fancy sort of French press or anything like that. It would be a grinder. So a decent grinder is going to make sure that you can use fresh beans just like these, freshly grind it using an electronic burr grinder or handheld. There's a Hario 60 Hario grinder. I think there's plenty online. Again, using ceramic blades that push the beans together, so they crush it rather than cutting it. That will extract all those essential oils. It doesn't burn the coffee beans themselves, and you get a lot more flavor out of it as well. So go for a grind if you're new to coffee. When should you be drinking coffee like this? This is a common question. Is it first thing in the morning? Is it mid-morning? There isn't that much evidence of the best times. I personally like to have it first thing in the morning, but if you're sensitive to the caffeine or coffee itself on an empty stomach that could cause gastritis, then have it later on. You want to space it out from your meals because coffee can interfere with the absorption of iron as well. And the other thing that I think is really, really important is make it a ritual. Make it something that you either enjoy on your own, or you drink with a friend, or you drink outside, because coffee is so much more than just the health benefits. It's a real moment to pause, to have a bit of a meditation, a mindful moment. That's how I like to have my coffee, in a moment of clarity, rather than drinking an espresso before jumping on a podcast or running out the door and I'm in a stress state. You don't want coffee to add to that stress state, because coffee will increase your cortisol levels as well. So it's just something to be mindful of. And look, do you need to drink coffee? Well, I've just gone through the real reasons why I drink coffee personally. Do you need to drink coffee? If you don't like the taste of coffee, then you don't need to. There are plenty of other sources of rich polyphenols. I've done a whole episode on different healing drinks that you can have every single day, including hibiscus, turmeric teas, chai lattes, beetroot lattes. There's so many other types of drinks that you can have if you don't like coffee. But the real reasons why you should be drinking coffee every single day are for those brain, cardiac, cancer benefits, there's metabolic health benefits, and even mood benefits as well. I hope you've enjoyed that. Let me know if you think I've missed out anything that I haven't talked about with regards to coffee. We've got a whole bunch of other episodes that we want to do about coffee, the length of time, the brewing methods, all that kind of stuff. And let me know if you think I've missed out any other health benefits that I have not mentioned in the episode. If you love this episode, you'll love this one, where I talk about the foods that can lower cholesterol and improve your heart health.